Hello, welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. I don't know if I've talked about this subject before, but I'm going to talk about self-talk and how you as a person or you as a therapist need to understand how vitally important self-talk is. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Self-talk is something that we do a lot. In fact, I think in this, I don't know how many words we actually say to ourselves in a day, but it gets into the thousands. Okay, we say so much more on the inside than we do on the outside, and we say it much faster. I think 3 times faster we process on the inside. So what's the importance of self-talk? Well, most of the self-talk that we do is kind of inane. It's meaningless. It's just, maybe a commentary on something. However, some of the self-talk that we offer ourselves can make or break us as a person. It can create a successful person in us, or it can create a failure. It can create a brave person, or it can create a coward. What we do when we talk to ourselves is, and first of all, just check out, where is your voice when you talk to yourself? Like think of something that you say to yourself that's neutral, like something like, oh, I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry. I think I want to eat. Where is that voice? So you just say that on the inside. Check out where the voice is. Where is it located in your head? I'll do it now. Oh, so mine's here. That's exactly where my voice is, the one that says I'm hungry. Okay? Here. So where's yours? And question for you, whose voice is it? Check it out. Just listen to it. Is it yours or is it somebody else's? I'll check mine out. It's mine. Okay? So that's the voice that we kind of just chat away to ourselves with. But don't think that we've only got one voice, and don't think that we've only got one location, because we have many locations, many different voices, often. Okay, so for example, think about something that you say about yourself that's negative. Often the easiest way is when you're standing in front of a mirror. What do you say to yourself that's negative? And I want you to say that, just test it out. Let yourself say those words to yourself and just notice where the voice is in your head. Is it in the same place or is it somewhere different? I'm just going to do that now. Ooh. That voice is here. Okay? That voice is here. It's funny, it felt much bigger. My other voice was here. This one was here. Where was yours? Okay? And now do it again and check, whose voice is it? Is it yours or is it somebody else's voice? Let's have a listen. Ooh. So, my voice, when I listen to it, has all the tone of my father's voice. Yeah? Now this is very common, that when we hear critical voices, very often they're not ours. Sometimes they are, but very often they're other people's voices. People who we love and people who are very important to us, often. Not always the case. It could be somebody, random person who said something to us once. But typically, so when I heard that voice, it was the voice of my father when he used to because my father was very critical of other people, probably still is, used to criticize lots of people, like with a jokey ha ha ha. Yeah. So that's the voice I heard. All right. So what's the purpose of this? Well, what you need to do is you need to become consciously aware of your self-talk. Self-talk is an unconscious thing that we do. Anything unconscious is below the radar. Anything below the radar controls us without us knowing that we're being controlled. So one of the first things, this is what great therapy is all about, is taking something from the unconscious and pushing it in the person's face and saying, look at this. They don't like it. We don't like it. I didn't feel particularly good that it was my dad's voice that was doing that. I had a moment of, oh, really? Okay. People don't want to become consciously aware of the stuff that they're doing, but they must to heal it. Because once you become consciously aware, that's when you can start to manipulate it. That's when you can change it. When you haven't got a clue what's happening, you can't do anything about it. Okay? So, the self-talk, I mean, if you go down the NLP route, and Paul McKenna's done some great stuff on this, you can get people to start to change the voice. I do this very often. So you get them to give the voice a different voice. Whose voice is it? It's my father's voice, criticizing me. All right, now give it another voice. And quite often I'll do a very, very silly voice. I say, so what did the voice say? And they say, it said, look at you, you're so fat and ugly. Don't think that that's unusual. That is typically what people say to themselves. Like lots and lots of people. Or worse things when they look at themselves in the mirror. Yeah, it's very, very shocking what people actually say. People say things to themselves that they would never in a million years say to anybody else. So what you do is, so the person says, I say, oh, look at you, you're fat and ugly. Okay, and you say, okay, now do it this way. I want you to change the voice and say, look at you, you're fat and ugly. Okay, now that's ridiculous. Of course it is. But when you do that and you say, do that with it, hear it with that voice now and do it again. Look at you, you're fat and ugly. Okay, now sometimes I put a warble in my voice, fat and ugly. What am I doing? I'm embarrassing myself. Clearly, I do it and there's a part of me going, what on earth are you doing, Gordon? But what you're doing is you're overwriting. Right? This is very important. This is another very important principle of therapy. Don't think that you're taking a program away. What you do, just like a normal computer program, you must overwrite it. You can never take it away. Do you know that? In the computer, you can't delete information. You have to overwrite it. That's when it gets deleted. So that's what you're doing. You give somebody a different voice and you say, I want you just to run that voice like 20 times in your head, and they're going at this, with a terrible face of what the hell is he making me do, right? But then what happens is you've overwritten it, and so the next time they look at themselves in the mirror and they hear this, look at you, right? And it has no impact. If anything, it makes them laugh, but it has no impact. Why? Because it's not the program that they makes them feel bad. This is a silly voice. And therefore they go, well, that's a silly voice. Okay. So that's one way of overcoming self-talk. However, the real way of overcoming self-talk is to become aware of it. Is to become aware of what you are saying to yourself. To do that, it takes time. Because it's unconscious, you're trying to drag it into the unconscious, but you're listening. Okay. What do you say to yourself? Self-talk, the best self-talk is this. You're looking great today, feeling great. I like who you are. I like who I am. I like the person that I am. I do really well. Even if I do make a mistake, I put it right and I learn from that mistake. This is all fantastic self-talk. It's being your number one fan. By the way, the secret of happiness is being your number one fan. I'm not talking about bigging up the ego. I'm talking about saying, I'm all I've got. I love who I am. Be your number one fan. Like yourself. Why not? You're all you've got. Some people really, really struggle with that. I say to them, you love yourself. And they go, ooh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't be loving myself. That would be too... What? You can't love yourself? No. You must. You have got to love yourself before anybody else. If your car's not running at top speed and beautifully, how on earth can you think that you can go and help other people with their cars or help to shine other cars up? Or you just can't. You've got to be sorted first. Your pot has got to be filled to overflowing, and then what flows over goes to other people. And by the way, it's endless. You can love endlessly. But the first person you've got to love is you. And how do you do that? Well, you start to adjust how you talk to yourself. Listen to what you're saying. People say dreadful things to themselves. Dreadful, absolutely horrible things to themselves. Stop. So what do you do with self-talk? You hear it, right? Because you're aware of it now. You go, oh, right, okay, so I know I've got a voice, hear that. You hear it, and then as soon as you've said it, because often it's said before you even know it, and you say, stop. Not that. I am a good person. I love who I am. I'm going to do this correctly. I'm going to do this right. Whatever it is, you say the opposite to what the negative voice has done. The negative voice says, you're never going to do this. It's going to be like all the other times. You're going to make a big arse of yourself. This is very common, okay? And you say, stop. No, not that. This time I'm going to work hard to make sure I do it correctly, and I'm going to do it well. I'm going to do it the best that I can, and I'm going to learn from the experience, and then the next time I'm going to do it even better, and the next time even better. That is how you balance it out. Because what happens is this: the unconscious mind listens to everything you say, and it doesn't make a judgment. It just listens to what you're saying and makes that happen. So you say, I'm going to make a right mess of this. The unconscious mind says, okay, then that, your wish, is my command. You see, the unconscious mind's job is to make sure that it maintains your sanity, your belief system. So if you believe you're going to make a mess of it, it will make sure you make a mess of it. Why? Because if you did it right, if you did a fantastic job, two things would happen. Typically, people do this. They say, well, that was a one-off. You watch next time, I'll be straight back to the way I was, okay? Or if it continued to help you to do things right, you'd be saying, oh, what's happened? I don't understand. You'd be worried about the fact that things have changed and you don't know why. So that's why the unconscious mind will give you everything that you say to yourself. That's it. Start saying something positive to yourself, and a time period will pass, typically 21 days. Where the unconscious mind will say, let's see. And it won't help you. It won't help you. Okay? Or it'll help you a little bit. So what happens is when we start to change our self-talk, our behavior doesn't change immediately. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The worst self-talk is this: I'm going to do this really well. I'm going to be fantastic at it. Okay, and then you go and do it and it's shit. And then afterwards you go, there we are. You see, it doesn't work. No. What you do is this. You say, okay, so it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. The next time I'm going to do better. The next time I'm going to prepare even better. Right? So this is what you're doing. Your unconscious mind's listening, going, oh, right. So then, oh, okay. So maybe they're a bit serious about this. And then it'll start to help you. But it won't at the beginning. It won't, because you've lied, and you've lied all of the time to the unconscious mind. Yeah? And so it doesn't trust you. When you've been in a bad place, when you've had bad self-talk, and all of the other things that we do, like, this is the last time I'm going to eat this. This is the last time I'm going to have this drink. All of these lies. The unconscious mind doesn't trust us. So what we have to do to get its trust is to show it to be consistent. Yeah? And after that, I promise you, if you get your unconscious mind on board with you, if you program it nicely with, remember, garbage in, garbage out, you program it with beautiful things, beautiful affirmations about yourself, big yourself up, tell the unconscious mind what you are. I'm a wonderful person. I like who I am. I'm a good person. I am an intelligent person. I'm capable. It will make you these things. It will make you be these things. When the unconscious mind steps in to play, and remember, there's more than that, because you're also dealing with the universe as well. But even just on the unconscious mind level, it can perform miracles. It can make miracles happen. I've seen them over and over again. All you need to do is to get it on your side. Talk to it nicely. Talk to yourself nicely. Tell yourself how wonderful you are. And suddenly you will be wonderful. Tell yourself how much you love yourself, and suddenly you will love yourself. Tell yourself how good you are doing things, and suddenly you will start to be good at them. That's the way it works. Self-talk. It's everything. It identifies, it defines exactly who you are. How you talk about yourself is how you are. That's it. All right. So I hope that helps, and give me some feedback. What's your self-talk like? How are you doing with the changes when you start to change? Give me some feedback. Okay, I love you all. Bye-bye.